Hello, everyone. My name is Nicola Krikora, and I'm the brand manager at Singtex. Today, I'm sorry that I can't be there in person, but I put together a little presentation to let you guys know a little bit more about Singtex, introduce our Escafe coffee yarn, and kind of give you guys an idea of what Singtex is doing to help the sports industry be more sustainable. So to start, I want to start with this quote from our chairman, Jason Chen, which is to sing a lovely textile song. So this is actually the origin of our name, Singtex. So sing as in to sing a song, and then text as in the shortened form of textile. So what Jason wanted to do with Singtex is he wants us to be creating art, almost like creating music with everything that we do. So we want to be touching other people's lives and making them feel something. And so we really take that to heart. And with everything that we do, we make sure to put our best into it and make sure that we are making a difference in the world. So on this slide here, you can just see a little bit of an overview of Singtex Group. So our headquarters is in New Taipei City, and we were founded in 1989. So since then, we have grown quite a bit, and currently we have 913 employees. These are in Taiwan, as well as in our garment factories in Vietnam. Now, what makes us quite special is our focus on R&D. So currently, our R&D team has a little over 67 people, and we are currently investing 3% of our annual revenue into R&D. And this is actually 3 times the industry average. The reason why we're doing this is because we really do focus on sustainability and trying to find new ways that we can innovate with products, as well as manufacturing processes as well. And I feel like this is also very much reflected in our patents. So we currently have 98 patents. And you can see the little plus sign there too, because we are constantly innovating. So that number is growing every single year. On this slide here, you can just see a couple of our milestones. Everything from when we opened in 1989, Singtex was a small quilt and bedding shop. But then by the mid-90s, we were manufacturing high-end functional fabrics. Then by 2009, that's when the Escafe coffee yarn was launched. And I'll give you a little introduction of that later on. In 2013, that's when we opened our garment factories in Vietnam. 2014, that's when we became a listed company. Now in 2020, that's when we acquired Jifeng, which is a functional coating and laminating factory in Taiwan. One of the things that was quite unique about when we acquired it was that was the start of the pandemic. And what we realized really early on is that with that factory, we could actually transition some of the manufacturing to focus on creating PPE for Taiwan, as well as countries all around the world. So by 2021, we had received our certification to be manufacturing PPE, which was then distributed worldwide. And then 2022 and this year is really an exciting time for us because we are in the process of building an extension of the Jifeng factory. And so at that factory, it's going to be a new dyeing and finishing center, as well as an expanded R&D center. So a lot of exciting things are coming for Singtex Group, and we just continue to grow and make our mark. So on this page here, it's a little bit of a graph to give you an idea of how the group works. So we are fully vertically integrated. So what this means is that when you think about textiles or the textile industry, we have our hands in everything from the R&D development of new products to creating the yarns, to then creating the fabrics, then the garments, and then all the way to garment recycling. So we really are able to help our customers all across the sports industry make sure that every single part of their manufacturing process is as sustainable and environmentally focused as possible. Now, before I continue, I have a question to ask you all. Did you drink coffee today? Now, I ask that because in the world, there's currently 1 billion coffee drinkers, which ends up actually being 1.6 billion cups of coffee that is drunk every single day. Now, when we drink a cup of coffee, a lot of the time we don't actually think about the waste that comes from that coffee. And one of the things is, like, if you have the coffee grounds, after you've made your cup of coffee, you're only consuming 0.2% of that coffee grounds. So that means that 99.8% is just going to waste. So what we did was that we found a way to take that waste and use it to make stronger and more powerful textiles. So what we did with Escafé, and this is what we like to call our Escafé patented technology, is we developed a way to take the used coffee grounds and then separate it into its different parts. So we take the coffee grounds and then we take out the water, we extract the water, and then we extract the oil as well. And so then by doing that, then we're left with three things: the coffee grounds themselves, the water, and then the oil. And then each part is used in different applications. So on this slide here, on the left, you can see just kind of a visual representation of all our Escafé products. So as you can see, we can take the coffee grounds and we can use those to make yarn. But then if we take the oil, we can use that to make waterproof and breathable membranes, as well as multi-purpose foam for textile applications as well. One of the special things about using coffee to create yarn is that we are able to actually harness the power of coffee. And one of those things is odor control. So because the coffee grounds have special pores, by putting it into the coffee yarn, we're actually giving the yarn what I like to describe as superpowers. So the pores are able to actually absorb those bad odors and make sure that your fabrics are feeling and smelling fresh longer than, say, a regular polyester or cotton fabric. Another special thing with the pores is that it naturally is reflecting UV and UVB rays. So it gives the wearer a little extra bit of sun protection. And another thing is it increases the moisture wicking. So Escafé fabric will dry much faster than a regular polyester shirt. And then the last one is we've also developed a way to combine the Escafé yarn with crystals, which gives it a cooling effect. So with an Escafé, we call this the ice cafe. So like drinking an iced coffee, it's able to cool your body skin temperature down by up to 3 degrees Celsius. So it can lower it 3 degrees Celsius. Now, one of the things that we came out with last year is we wanted to find another creative way that we could take Escafé and also help another environmental cause. And so last year, we focused a lot on ocean specific initiatives all around the world. And so with that, we developed Escafé Ocean, which is where we're using the Escafé yarn, and then we're combining it with ocean plastics as well as ocean-bound plastics. So the Escafé Ocean line still has all the same functions as a regular Escafé fabric. However, it has that added benefit that by having an Escafé Ocean fabric, you are also supporting Clean Oceans projects all around the world. So here I've got a little bit of a video to show you. So what we did last year was we partnered with a Taiwanese charity called Azure Alliance. And so what they are is it's a group of marine biologists as well as engineers. And what they've done is they've developed these boats, these remote control boats that can make their way around harbors around Taiwan and pick up floating garbage off the top. And so what we did with this partnership is that we are working with them and we're collecting the garbage that they've collected in these harbors, and we're using them in the Escafé Ocean. fabrics as well. So as I mentioned before, with the oils that we're extracting from the used coffee grounds, so we've developed a way to take those oils and then create a waterproof and breathable membrane. And so by doing this, we're able to lower the amount of petroleum that would normally need to be used to create this type of membrane. So we are able to actually take the amount of petroleum that would normally need to be used. We're able to lower it by 26% by using coffee oil instead. And one of the special things about this is that by using used coffee grounds, we're taking oils from a non-edible alternative. So we're not taking away from a food source to create this oil. This is recycled old coffee grounds that would normally be going into the trash. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about creating fabrics, creating things. But the other thing that we really are focused on at Singtex is trying to figure out what is going to happen at the end of the life of these products. And so what we've been developing is this idea of one shell. And so you can think of it almost like creating a circle or a loop. So when we are creating a fabric, we want to think about what's going to happen to it at the end. And so with one shell, we have been working to create Escafé products for our customers that are able to be easily recycled at the end of their life cycles. And I'm just going to give you an example of one of the projects that we've been doing. So last year, we launched the Refit program, which is a garment-to-garment recycling program. And so what we've been doing is we've been collecting 100% polyester garments, and then we're able to use that and recycle it back into the cycle. And so we launched this project at the Tianjin Marathon in Taiwan last November. And the next slide, I'm just going to show you a little bit of a video to give you an idea of what we were doing. So what we did was that we encouraged all the participants to bring their old running clothes, anything that was made with 100% polyester, and they could bring it to us and then we could recycle it. The other thing with this marathon is that we have been making the uniforms for the marathon for the last 7 years. And in the last 7 years, all those uniforms had been made with 100% polyester. They were 100% polyester Escafé shirts. So people were also encouraged to bring their old marathon shirts to last year's race, and they could bring them back to us, and then we could recycle them back into new kit as well. So I hope you can enjoy the video. So on this event, we were actually able to collect 152 pieces of used clothing, old clothing that the participants wanted to recycle. And we had 400 visitors come to our booth and ask questions, and they were all very interested in ways that they could also participate in this type of garment recycling activity as well. So after the success of the Tianjin Marathon event, we also partnered with the New Taipei City WJS Marathon. And so this year we actually created the uniforms in partnership with Mizuno, using the Escafé fabric as well. And so this is also a Singtex refit event. And so for the next month or so, people who want to recycle their used garments are actually able to go to New Taipei City Hall, and they can bring it there, and we've set up some bins for them to use, and we will collect them and we will recycle them. So thank you very much for listening to this presentation. I hope that you learned something more about Singtex Group and Escafé and what we're doing with the refit program, trying to find better ways so that garments can have proper end-of-life plans that make sure that they are being recycled. If you see on the left here, I have QR codes that can be scanned, and you can find us on all social media. Please do follow us, and if you have any questions at all or any comments, please feel free to reach out to us. We would love to talk with you more and share more about what we're doing within the sports industry to make it more sustainable. Thank you.